Today we've got quite the show for you. We'll be talking about the companies who are making big moves on the stock market this week, from Harley-Davidson to Meta Platforms, and more. We'll begin with Meta Platforms, as the Facebook parent company reported its first sales increase in over a year and then saw their shares jump 12%. This is good news for investors who had been waiting for an increase in sales for some time. Next we have Teladoc Health, a telemedicine company which saw its stock soar more than 7% after reporting higher than expected revenues and adjusting the bottom line guidance. Speaking of the bottom line, Harley-Davidson had great news to share, as the motorcycle maker reported higher than expected earnings and revenues. Their hog stocks rose 4.4% after the news hit. eBay was also in the news, with the e-commerce platform jumping 3% after it reported highly impressive first quarter earnings and revenue, topping expectations and issuing better than expected guidance. For drug makers, Eli Lilly and Company was having a good week. Shares of the Indianapolis-based pharmaceutical company rose more than 3% after it topped revenue estimates in the first quarter and raised its full-year guidance on both the top and bottom lines. Unfortunately, not all the news was good this week, as Southwest Airlines saw its shares slide 4% after it reported a wider than expected loss for the first quarter due to a crisis which saw them cancel more than 16,000 flights in late December. Roku saw success in the same way eBay did, with its first quarter revenue beating expectations and issuing second quarter revenue guidance beyond what Wall Street was anticipating. Meanwhile, Honeywell International reported higher than expected revenue for the first quarter and American Airlines had a slight miss with first quarter earnings matching estimations despite revenue missing expectations. Merck & Company was an exception, as the New Jersey-based pharmaceutical maker topped estimates in its most recent quarter while Northrop Grumman also beat forecasts in its latest quarter. Caterpillar slightly missed expectations and Bristol-Myers Squibb Company's revenue also missed expectations, but overall it was a good week of stock market news, with many companies seeing substantial jump in their share prices. That's all for today's show. Be sure to check back for more headlines about the companies making moves on the stock exchange.